Yes, good morning, all girls. Hope you are all doing good. Yesterday we have done with RAM. Yes, RAM is volatile memory where it remains only the contents remain till the power supply is there, and once there is no power supply, then you could not retain the data, you could not retrieve. Like it is volatile in nature, and once it is switched off, the contents of RAM will automatically be erased. RAM stores data purely on temporary basis. Yes or no? So it is small both in terms of
Yes.
physical size, and even the amount of data it can store is also very least. Not much could be expected from RAM. Okay. So every computer application like demands a particular amount of memory from RAM in order to execute. Yes, each and every program, whatever we are giving, any instructions applied to the computer require some space for to be stored in temporarily in RAM. Okay. So as I said, like RAM is also referred to as read and write memory of the computer, and user can read the data from RAM as well as write the data into RAM. Like it is a read write memory, and a small amount of RAM is integrated to CPU, which usually is referred to as cache memory, and it is a semiconductor memory, so it is very costly, but still, in order to increase the what do you say speed of the computer, large memory is used. Though girls, see, it is small. स्मॉल बोले तो ऐसा नहीं है कि प्राइस में स्मॉल है. The size is in terms of physical size, it is very small, and even the amount of data it can hold also is very small. Yes, but a small amount of RAM is like it is a semiconductor memory, and so it is very costly, and still people use large amount of RAM in order to increase the speed of the computer. Okay, it is because of the speed of the computer to be increased where we have to go with more amount of RAM, more GB of RAM. Okay. Yes, we know what is the disadvantage of the like the loss of data when the power is turned off. That is a disadvantage, and we have seen yesterday one small peak also, and we have seen types of RAM. What are them? Are static and dynamic RAM. Static refers, like it indicates the memory retains its contents as long as the power is supplied. Okay. And they do not continuously get refreshed, wherein it happens in dynamic RAM because of the conductor technology, or you could say like the capacitors, where they get leak out very periodically, and where the data gets refreshed very oftenly. Okay. So this is all about your, yeah, good morning, girls, all of you. Yes, this is about your static and dynamic RAM. Okay, now today we are seeing ROM, read only memory. तो अगर read only बोले तो we can only read, we cannot write. Okay, means we cannot make any sort of modifications, but still you have prom, EPROM, double EPROM, where separate slots for that, where they could be erased with UV rays, that too not for general use. Okay, so this will discuss what is about ROM. Yes. Just whatever we have seen in RAM is quite contradiction to ROM. Okay, where information is permanently stored in ROM. It is non-volatile storage. It is read-only memory, and yes, as we have seen in random access memory. Uh, बोले तो randomly choose करके randomly there is selection and the contents are being stored, but it is not possible to randomly select and store in the information in ROM. Okay. No dependency is there. Like, see, whatever, what dependency, no execution. Like the speed of the computer depends on RAM, but ROM has nothing to do with the speed of the computer. And ROM stores the program required to initially boot the computer. Yes, one important point: to boot the computer, to start up the computer, or to make it to the point where it was prior. We have accomplished our task to get back to that position. That is what we call it as booting process, which you have also, where I'll explain when coming there. So booting process. So ROM stores the program required to initially boot the computer, and the types of ROM include PROM, EPROM, double EPROM, etc. You could see ROM over there, like it consists of small chips which are located near CPU on the motherboard. You could see the ROM chips over there. Yes, it is there in the diagram on your screen. I hope my screen is visible. As I said, you could go through the points. Yes, RAM we have to fetch from outside, whereas ROM, it is a built-in memory and is also known as firmware. And instructions that are required all the time in the system for running the computer are stored in ROM. Just a moment, guys. Yes, as you could see, it's only read only memory. बोले तो जो already built in है, जो already है, when will you read? Is it the blank page will you read? No. If there is something over on something in the textbook or in the notebook, then you will read. Yes or no, which is already there, then you start reading about that. So what I want to say is ROM is built-in computer memory, which is also known as firmware. Firmware याद है इसके पहले बोले? Can anyone say what is firmware? We have seen hardware, software, humanware, and firmware. Yes, ma. बोले याद है नहीं है?
No, ma'am.
I did not say.
No.
No.
Combination of software and hardware become because of we couldn't accept the software and hardware mutually.
No, I guess it is a combination of hardware and software.
Yes, it is a very good. It is a combination of hardware and software, because without hardware, software has no meaning, and without software, hardware has no meaning. This is what we call it as firmware. Hardware deke, software deke, firmware is a combination of both, and humanware is the person or the user who will be using the computer. The user or an operator of the system, you call it as humanware. I have said, and I guess, I hope I even forwarded these notes for you. You please check it out. If not, I'll do that. Okay. So without hardware, software has no meaning, and without software, hardware has no meaning. So they both are mutually dependent. Yes or no? एक के ऊपर एक dependent है. So yes, coming back, the read-only memory, you call it as firmware, because as I specified the reason, that is the reason you call it as firmware, and they are already built in, and yes, they consist of small chip which are located near the CPU on the motherboard. The instructions are stored in it in a permanent manner. And ROM is non-volatile in nature. Data does not get erased when the computer's power is switched off. Yes, this we have read now, all these points. A summary: the memory organization of ROM is exactly the same as that of ROM. RAM and ROM chips are used not only in computers but in most other electronic items as well, like calculator. And yes, it is not possible to randomly store the information, whereas in random access memory, random, yes, R means random, quickly. Yes or no? Yesterday we discussed the same. Quickly, like it is possible in RAM to store the information randomly, but whereas in ROM, it is not possible. Okay. So I hope you're all understanding, ma. And coming
Yes.
to types of ROM, you could see PROM, programmable read-only memory; EPROM, erasable programmable read-only memory; EEPROM, yes, electronically erasable programmable read-only memory. So these are the three types of ROM. Where see why? Because what is the difference? As ROM is only for reading, बोले तो कुछ अपन नहीं लिख सकते हैं. Means if you want to write something which is there, अगर समझो आप कुछ already है उसके ऊपर लिखना चाह रहे, तो you have to erase that or you have to delete that. Yes or no? Then only it is possible for us to write. Actually it is read only, but at times if you want to make it as write also, then you can make it by making use of ultraviolet rays, where data could be erased, and it is programmable. Programmable bolte you could do the changes. Okay, so that is what you call it as the types of ROM, like PROM, EEPROM and EEPROM. If you look after these points, it will be one and the same, like how the data is erased with what technology. So coming first to PROM, programmable read-only memory, like one-time programmable non-volatile memory. Yes, already ROM is non-volatile, and if you come to PROM, it is one time. Bole to ek bar you could make it programmable. Yes, the only difference between ROM and PROM is that instructions in ROM are designed by the manufacturer of the computer, whereas in PROM, the instructions are programmed by the user himself according to his requirement. But this could be accomplished only once. Girls, please understand, ROM is not programmable. It is only read-only memory. But PROM provides the user the privilege of making it once. Like the user, according to his requirement or her requirement, can make the ROM. That is what you call it as PROM, programmable. And that too only once, not more than that. Okay, so in PROM, user can design the instructions only for once, and they could not be erased or changed or modified later whenever required. Okay, so the major disadvantage is that shock of electricity can cause easily disruption in ROM. Yes, if there is any sort of electrical disturbance, then even there is no guarantee or there is no assurance of this chips also. Okay, girls, I hope you're all understanding. The next one is EEPROM. It is erasable programmable read-only memory. As the name itself suggests, ROM is not a flexible memory, as the instructions in it cannot be written or changed once after done. And to overcome this drawback, we have EEPROM, where you could erase and again fill. Okay, so in EEPROM, the user can program the instructions himself according to his requirement, and later on, but it can happen any times, like whatever first he can fill up, then whatever the data is being filled, that could be erased by using UV rays and reprogram the new instructions in it. That is what you call it as erasable programmable read-only memory. Yes, the continuation which I'm telling. And they are used for research and development operations, because there are regular changes in requirement due to testing of various computer systems. Yes, it is used in scientific purposes. The next one is EEPROM, electrically erasable programmable read-only memory. Yes, you can program and reprogram like a number of times without any constraints, like the instructions according to his requirement. And yes, here the concept used is electrical pulses. Okay, so flash memory, like then and then, that is what you call it as flash memory. EEPROM such as flash memory allows the entire memory to be electrically erased. This is what about your PROM, EEPROM and EEPROM. Yes, as it is there in the last point, you could go through that. EEPROM user can electrically erase a portion of the data, a portion of the contents of the ROM. And yes, rather than what is happening PROM may only once. Yes, listen to me very carefully. PROM once, EEPROM well and fine, they could do with ultraviolet rays. But coming to EEPROM, what is happening? They could program and reprogram, and even a portion, not entire portion, some contents of that particular data or the information stored could be erased and reprogrammed. That is the advantage. But here they are using electrical pulses. Yes, I heard some voice. Any doubts, ma?
We can make changes in this, ma'am.
Yes, yes, that is what I'm saying. Na ROM built-in memory hai ma'am. Like it's only built-in memory. Read only. बोले तो only for reading. It's not meant for writing. Writing बोले तो क्या है? Writing means we users input. Yes or no? उसको computer को क्या मतलब है? Computer technology में giving input is writing. Okay ma? And
Yes.
getting the output is reading. Where for the computer it will be reverse. अगर अपन लिख रहे तो computer पढ़ता है. Computer लिख रहा है तो अपन पढ़ते हैं. Yes or no? Are you understanding ma?
Yes, ma'am.
We write, the computer reads the instructions and process and gives us again in the form of output, where we read that. The output is read by us. Output अपन लिखते क्या? नहीं ना?
No.
सिस्टम में आई बात समझ. अपन लिखे तो कंप्यूटर पढ़ता है, कंप्यूटर लिखे तो we read. So what I want to say is read only memory where the memory is already built in, and this ROM only works for what do you say, for the working of the system. Like you could say a sort of hardware software. It's like a firmware where they mutually go on. So for this you need ROM, and as it is not possible for the programmer to erase, then you have modifications in this, like the different types of ROM are there, which you call it as PROM, EPROM and double EPROM. EPROM में तो एक ही बार कर सकते हैं, EPROM में well and fine you could do, but entire data has to be erased when using such thing. But double EPROM, like a portion or some little part also apart from of the whole content, if you want to modify little content, then it could happen with EPROM, double EPROM. Okay, done girls? Any doubts? Guys, do you have any doubts? Please let me know.
No, ma'am.
Sure. And girls, what I'm explaining yesterday and today are very important for your exams. Primary memory, RAM, there will be no question paper without this. RAM, ROM, EPROM, PROM, SAQs रहने दो, long answers रहने दो. What I'm explaining is very important.
But this theory part is getting more, ma'am.
You
Practical
have to
is
get adjusted.
yes. No
Even
doubt.
I feel bored while teaching, but we have to. Yes, the next one is cache memory. As we know, a part of memory, a part of RAM, which is connected to CPU, that you call it as cache memory. So you could see the same in the diagram, like cache memory, main memory, and the processor. Yes or no? If you could see, then by seeing that you could understand what is cache memory. Yes, I want to tell only few important points in this. See, now what is happening? A portion of data will be stored in the cache memory. If whatever, when the user is trying to find out the data, if the data is available in the cache memory, then you call it as cache hit. If the data is not found, whatever the user is searching for, then you call it as cache miss. Yes, cache hit and cache miss. Agar data, whatever you are in need, is found in the cache memory, you call it as cache hit. And if the data is not found, you call it as cache miss. This is what the important point of your cache memory. Okay, so, and moreover, yes, one important point is if data is found in the cache memory, it is retrieved and the operations are carried on in a normal manner. Agar nahi hua to, again what is happening means, if there is a cache miss, what happens, it goes to the normal storage where it fetches the instructions and processes the instructions. That's all. This is all about your cache memory, where they have elaborated, but these are the important points which you have to take care. Okay, so that's all about cache memory, ma. Yes, that's all what I find. You can go through the points, even they are the important, which I said, like you could go through these important points and the diagram, which is more than enough. Okay, like you call like buffers, this cache memory. These 3 points are important. What is cache memory, along with the diagram, and if the data is found, and it is very small, fast and expensive type of storage which is placed between the CPU and the main memory. Yes, and the second one is data is found, it is cache hit, and if it is not found, cache miss. And if the data is not found as it is cache miss, then it goes to the normal storage where it fetches the instructions and gets processed up with those instructions. That's all. That's all about your cache memory. Enough, more than enough. Okay. If you even write like it is a memory, it is a small and fast and expensive type of memory which is in between the CPU and the main memory. That is the important point of cache memory, where the examiner finds important of about this thing. What is cache? Itna to pata chahiye ki it's between a sort of memory which is placed between the CPU and the
Ma'am, if there is an absence of cache memory, then what will be the consequences?
that's what I'm saying, Noma. Cache memory, like it's also, you could call it as a built-in which is done already with your RAM. If it is not there, also it goes with the normal execution, ma.
Okay, the speed, if it is not there, the speed will not
See
be
what is
there.
happening. Listen. What will happen means, CPU, whenever CPU is accessing some data, that will be placed in the cache memory. Okay,
Okay.
so this process goes on. If the cache memory becomes full, then new data will be placed instead of some existing data.
Yes.
So that is the process, like it gets refreshed, and it happens all the time. That's all. Am I to you, ma?
Yes, ma'am. Clear.
Yes,
Ma'am,
any doubts?
in every computer, this cache memory will be present.
Yes.
Ma'am, can you repeat one's third point?
What third point? Which one, ma?
This cache memory.
Like cache memory is, it is a memory which is placed between CPU and the RAM. It's a part of, what do you say, RAM, a small part of RAM only. And as I said, see, initially the cache memory will be empty. Okay, but when CPU accesses the data, what is happening? Primary storage से ही लेता है ना जो भी है. Yes or no? As I said, primary storage से ही if you remember 4 plus 3, 4 on hands and 3 in the mind. तो 3 in the mind, फिर 4 तो अभी हाथ में है, फिर 3 लाते ना आप mind से, तो क्या हो रहा है? ये 3 जो भी है, what does the CPU do? It puts that in the cache memory. And aisa, if there are number of instructions going on, what is happening? Even the cache memory becomes full. So this process will be continuing for each access to the main memory, and when it becomes full, then the new data will be stored by replacing some existing information. समझो अब 4 3 ला लिए ना, 7 हो गया, फिर दूसरे instructions फिर cache में रखते हैं, फिर दूसरे instructions, like as the things go on, they keep on filling up and refreshing and erasing. That is what it happens. And you call like it, if you see, it is called as FIFO, first in first out. फर्स्ट इन फर्स्ट आउट, जो पहले आए उन लोग पहले बाहर चले जाओ. आई ना बात समझ में? 4 3 पहले आगे, 4 plus 3 done, shut up. 4 plus 3 done, where it is going on. Yes or no? Then another instructions will be processed. Yes or no, ma? First
It does
in
not
first
store
out.
permanently.
Yes, ma?
It does not store permanently.
अरे बेटा, प्राइमरी स्टोरेज परमानेंट है अपने को? Is primary permanent अपने को?
No.
No.
Then how will you expect cache to be permanent? Cache memory primary का एक हिस्सा है ना बेटा, RAM का.
Yes.
Yes or no? RAM is volatile in nature. तो अगर क्या बोलते, if the hierarchy, cache being a part of RAM, yes or no? When RAM is only non-volatile, how could you expect cache to be permanent, ma? Are you understanding?
Yes, ma'am.
I hope you are all
Yes, ma'am.
following with no confusion.
Yes.
Sure?
Yes.
All of you.
Yes, ma'am.
Still
Yes,
any
yes.
doubts, let me know. Let it be clear. Okay? I hope I am clear. Like as I said, you remember this technology, like it is over here also. FIFO, first in first out. बोले तो जो पहला आया वो चले जाता. Then other instructions. Girls, अभी if it is a computer, we know it. Only does it, if it is a program, does it process only one or two instructions? No, na. It has many instructions and it cannot retain all the things. हाँ, कब retain होता है मैडम? फिर storage भी होता है. एक साथ पूरा होने के बाद, if the user wants to save or something has to be saved, then it takes care. Yes or no? The output will be saved, not the processing. Girls, are you following? प्रोसेसिंग करने के लिए जो भी इंस्ट्रक्शंस दे रहे वो जाके प्राइमरी मेमोरी से लेता रहता फॉर द सेक ऑफ प्रोसेसिंग. आई होप यू आर ऑल फॉलोइंग दिस. So do you require,
Yes, ma'am.
like, will the user be interesting in the processing results, or the results of processing, or the final output? You tell me. We are bothered about the final output. Yes or no? But what is happening if I give some 10 to 15 instructions, like a program may I have given one as addition, one as subtraction, one as multiplication. Okay, so I want 3 plus 4, 3 into 4, 3 minus 4. Yes, the final output I want. Yes or no? Why am I bothered, like where 3 is taken, where 4 is taken? अगर कंप्यूटर के हिसाब से देखे तो पहले 3 into 4 लेता है for the processing. 3 into 4 काम हो गया ना, then it will be sent out, it will be pushed out, then it takes 3 into 4, then it will be processed and it will be pushed out, then it will take 3 minus 4 and then it will be processed, and all the 3 final outputs will be uh, displayed by the system. Yes or no? I hope now you are understanding. So this is the last one, like the primary memory, where you have virtual memory. Girls, are you following? Please let me know, because get your doubts cleared. अभी virtual memory, virtual बोले तो क्या है? बगैर देख के बोलो मेरे को.
virtual, imaginary.
Virtual अभी चल रहा ना, अभी क्या है? Virtual classes. What do you mean by that? अपन पढ़ रहे तो सही है MS degree college से, पर classroom में जा रहे, chalk and board. Are we using regular teaching?
No.
No, but we are
Digital.
going on through something. Yes or no? Virtual means है भी नहीं है भी. बोले तो classes चल रहे, पर वो तरीके से नहीं चल रहे जो चलना
Ma'am, once you
चाहिए.
repeat the question.
See, virtual means it is like existing. What I want to say, like your classes, samjho, we are supposed to go into the college, sit on the benches where the lecturer will be making use of a marker or a chalk or whiteboard or blackboard. Yes or no? Traditional learning. But now also we are doing. Yes, classes chal rahe. The things are going on, but not in a normal way. Do you agree or not? That is what you call it as virtual. Girls, I hope you're all following. You tell me, what is the meaning of virtual in English?
Imaginary.
Yes, imaginary.
Huh?
Imaginary, which
Not
is
in a physical environment,
Yeah.
but
Yes, not physically existing as such,
yes,
but made by the software as if to do so. I repeat, girls, it is not physically existing. जैसा कि अपने classes चल रहे, virtual classes, that is what you are calling, no, online classes? Yes or no? Not physically existing as such, but they are made by the software to appear so. That is what you call it as virtual.
yes, ma'am.
So if you understand this, even the virtual memory is also the same. Like a large amount of data is to be processed and the main memory of RAM becomes inadequate. क्या होता है मालूम यहाँ पे? जैसा कि अपने पास नहीं है तो किसी से उधार नहीं तो कर्जा लेते हैं ना, तो the same thing happens, but the user does not know. When the computer memory is full, the primary memory for processing as to speed up or to process large amount of instructions, what is happening? There will be some deficiency or थोड़ा कम पड़ता है, तो क्या होता है? Obviously you take from the other side. Even here also it appears the same, memory is borrowed, but it is not visible to the user because it happens internally. That is what you call it as virtual memory. Am I clear, girls? So if you could go through this, as the computer to process large amount of data, the size of main memory or RAM becomes inadequate or insufficient to store the data. To overcome this problem, we use like the virtual memory concept is used. See, where the OS approaches to the secondary storage hard disk and borrows the required amount of memory from it and utilizes it as the main memory or RAM for processing of the data. This borrowed or shared memory is called as virtual memory. Okay, girls?
Yes, ma'am.
That's all. It happens internally where the OS gets borrows or takes some memory or uses temporarily the secondary memory for processing of the instructions. वो जो भी उधार लिए ना, फिर उधार लिए तो उसको देना पड़ता ना. Yes or no? Temporary basis where it is being borrowed and then given back. Virtual memory. Am I clear, girls?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am.
Any doubts in today's session? Tomorrow we'll go for secondary storage. Yes, can anyone give seminars like magnetic disk, magnetic tape, optical storage, like CD-ROM, RAM, memory disk or memory card? I'll be happy if anyone presents seminar. Like kaisa bhi chehra batana nahi hai na. You can make use of what do you say? Nice something which could be explained, like warm disk, CD recordable, rewritable DVDs, pen drives, or you're called as flash drives and memory cards. Can anyone give the seminars on secondary storage? Can I expect anyone?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. Tomorrow, ma'am.
If not tomorrow, because you have to prepare Nama,
Yes.
I'll give some time where I'll go with second unit operating systems. Okay.
Okay.
Maybe like see tomorrow. I don't know. I'm not sure whether I'll address you people or not. Let us hope so. So I'll continue with second unit and I'll leave with a 2 days gap. I'll take class for 2 days, but for 2 days I'll give time for you all to prepare for seminars, and you just post me who is going to give the seminars on which topic. It's up to you, Masi. You should understand and make the students understand where I'll be accompanying you. It's not
Yes,
totally
ma'am.
dependent on you. So there will be a bit change where even you people could learn through.
Okay,
And it's
ma'am.
so like see, floppy disk, hard disk, like these are something which we could learn on our own. Like, but still, what I want to do is I don't want to skip. I want to, in my presence, I want you people to present.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
You decide among your group and give me the names. आपका एक personal group है ना शायद, तो
Yes,
Yes.
उसमें decide करके हमारे को बोलिए, ठीक है ना?
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. Shall I take attendance?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
As I said, one operating system, if we finish Nama, then we have like Notepad, WordPad, where we could see the windows and everything, okay? And there is an even announcement from Telangana government that you are going to get back to your classes from Feb 1st onwards.
Yes.
Let us
Yes.
hope for that, okay?
Yes,
Then
ma'am.
it would be
Yes,
very
ma'am.
interesting.
Very excited.
Okay, let us pray for that. Shall I end the session then? I'll take the attendance and I'll end the session. Yes, Malakpet girls,
About
raise your
notes?
hands. Jima,
Notes, you didn't send it.
I will send.
Okay.
Yes, Malakpet branch. Raise your hands, ma. Juvedia Rahin. That's all. 19 from क्या हुआ, एक हाथ नीचे आ गया. Yes, 18 are from Malakpet, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, done. Thank you all, ma. Okay, I'll post the notes, don't worry, and make it sure. Okay, thank you all for being there. Bye bye, ma. Take care.
Thank you, ma'am. Bye.
Bye, ma.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, ma.
Take care, ma'am.